Hi everybody, it's Gail with Glam in My Garden, and today I'm talking about the November look of the month called Autumn Allure, and I have it on one side, and I'm going to show you how I did it on the other side, and what are my prep steps, and what are my tools. So first of all, I used all of my Mary Kay brushes, right, from the all-over brush to the cream color brush to the liquid foundation brush to the cheek brush to the eyebrow and eyeliner brush, the eye blending brush, the eye smudger brush, and the eye crease brush, and the all-over brush. I used all the brushes, or most of them. So if you're not familiar with the brushes, grab your lookbook and review that. It'll help you out. And then as I started, I put on, first of all, my under eye concealer under my eye on the side, on both sides actually, because both have the under eye concealer on. And then I put on Deep Ivory on the eyelid area and then just tapped that in. So that was my prep. Then I did my foundation, which is CC cream with a little bit of foundation primer. And then I finished off with a little bit of silking powder and translucent loose powder. So I put that all on before I did my eye design and my cheeks, because we're talking about all those things today. Now let's move into the eye. So on the eyebrow, I actually use a little bit of, just want to make sure I got my name straight on this one. Cashmere Haze is what I fill my eyebrows in because it's the closest to my gray eye coloring. And then I used, after I potted that on, kind of tapped it on, then I did use my Mary Kay brow brush and brush that in nicely. Okay, so that was one thing that I did in prep. And then the next thing up from there was I also put on a little bit of deep brown eyeliner on the eyelid first. And you can see it's a little bit messy, but that's okay because I'm going to put eyeshadow over that. So that eyeliner went on first. And then I also have a little bit of Ultimate Mascara on my unfinished eye. So that was just one last step that we do at the end. So let's get started. So the first thing that I did is I grabbed my, actually my all over brush, and I picked up a little bit of my Espresso, which is eyeshadow number 1. So I marked these ahead of time so I can see them. So Espresso number 1 going on the eye, and I'm just patting this on the entire eyelid right up into the crease of the eye and a little bit above that, but not much. I just want to have a lot of rich color right there. That rich Espresso color. Doesn't that look marvelous? Yeah, I love wearing this color. I should do it more often. So I pat it on. So that's step number 1. And then step number 2 is I use a little bit of Cinnabar. And so with a Cinnabar, I use the angled brush. And I add a little bit of Cinnabar right over that. And so with the Cinnabar, that goes just above. And you can see it looks like little footprints right now, just above, but like on the brow skin area, just pat, 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 pat. Okay. I'm going to go back and blend that in a minute, but not yet. So that was using my angled brush. Then the next brush up from there, and the next color that I'm going from there is going to use a little bit of my this is the smudger brush nowadays. And let me just check my colors here. Okay, so that was 2. Number 3. Okay, so I'm going to be using the golden mauve. So the golden mauve, I'm going to put that on the inside corner of my eye a little bit. Golden mauve in the inside corner of my eye, right in there. Just patting it in. And I'm also going right over, just putting a little bit right over the Cinnabar, kind of like, because I just want a little bit of shimmer up here. Okay. Haven't really blended anything yet. Then I'm going to pick up from there. I'm going to go up to my next color from there. Let me put my glasses on to see this again. So that was number 3. Okay. The number 4 is I'm going to go to the rose gold. Okay. So rose gold, I pat up in here. I'm going to come back and blend this a little bit. See a little bit of shimmer, and then I take a little bit more rose gold and right over the iris of my eye, I add this rose gold in. So it's almost a stripe of color, but I just soften it up. I just want to have a little bit of extra pop of color right there. So just a little bit right in that area, just to put a little bit of extra color. And remember, before I used a little bit of the, double checking on my names here, of my golden mauve, which is a shimmer, a little bit on the inside corner, but not too much. Okay, so that takes care of that. Now I want to finish up with a little bit of blossom. So I'm using, again, the contour brush, And I'm going to pick up some Blossom because with the Blossom, I want to underline my eyebrow with the Blossom. And this is, again, just patting a bunch of color up there. Not any blending yet, just pat, 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 pat the color up in that area. Okay, then I'm going to use the tail and the wedge edge of my, this is like the brow definer brush, and I'm going to pick up a little bit of onyx. And I'm putting just a tiny bit in the corner, in the crease and in the corner, just to put a smudge of blackness over there. Just a little bit of smoke right in the corner. Just a little bit of smoke. This is the guy says on the cooking show. I'm just adding a little bit of smoke. So we're adding a little bit of smoke just on the corner of the eye. And then I bring just a little bit down. Just a little bit down. See, just a little bit down under the eye. That's it. Just a little bit of smoke. Okay. Then I go back over and say, anything else I can do here? Well, this is when I go back and I use my Mary Kay one more time. I use a little bit of that the deep ivory one more time in that area. And I want to bring it up just a little bit in that. And then I'm going to be using my liquid foundation brush, and I'm just kind of patting this, but I want to give this an upsweep in the corner of the eye. And by doing that little extra over the eye with the concealer, it just helps brighten the under eye area a little bit more. And I especially like that up. And if I've got a little bit too much there, I just take my finger and pat it back off. I just want there to be a little wedge lift of line. See that little line right there? That's really just created by the concealer. Okay, so that's that step. Now it's time to put on a little bit of mascara. So I've already got the Ultimate Mascara on, but I think I'm just going to dab it a little bit more just to grab that outside color a little bit more. But then I also use my second mascara is going to be my Fanorama Mascara. So pop on a little bit of Fanorama Mascara. Grab those outside corners. Oh, looks like I got a few crumbs. That's okay. And then I like to use the brush, the whiskers of the brush, and just grab my lower lashes, which are almost invisible. But when I pop a little bit of mascara on them, they show up. So, hey, how fun is that? And then just, if there's anything else you need to touch up, looks like I got that pretty good. Okay, a little bit more, kind of balance out that load of mascara on both sides. Yep. Look like we got it going on. Okay, so what's the next things that we're going to be doing? Since I've already powdered my face all over once, what's next up? Well, what I didn't maybe mention earlier is that I've already put on my berry lip liner. And I love this new black cherry. This black cherry lipstick is the color of the year. So I've already added my black cherry all over with my berry lip liner. So that's taken care of. Now it's time to put on a little bit of the blush. And we're using two blushes today, Juicy Peach and Wineberry. So using my Mary Kay blush brush, let's grab it from over here. And I like to pinch my brush a little bit when I'm putting on my blush. So first I'm going to grab a little bit of the Wineberry, and I'm going to just go under my cheek as if I'm using it almost as a contour. Just a little bit, just pat, 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 pat. Just a little bit right there. All right, and then I'm going to pick up a little bit of the Juicy Peach because I want to pop the color. Just pop my cheek a little bit right there on the color, kind of on the apple of the cheek. Isn't that something? And then use that little bit of Wineberry almost as a wedge underneath. Now I go back and use a little bit more translucent loose powder. And I really just pick up the powder from the inside of the lid and powder just over that and under my eye. Now, why are you going under the eye? Well, because there's luminosity that makes all the difference in the world. And I want that under my eye so that it helps deflect the lines around my eyes. And by also putting a little bit more color on the cheek, or a little bit more of the translucent loose powder on the cheek, that can help tone that down so it's not too loud. You don't want people to hear your blush coming around the corner kind of thing. And if I want to dial it up a little bit, I can just add a little bit more color back to it. Now, let's pop a little bit more Juicy Peach back on just to pop that up a little bit on each side. There, we've got it. I think I've got everything on. That's a lot of makeup on, right? But that's the 6 eyeshadow colors with our 2 blush colors with the Autumn Allure. So mix and match it, play all over, use little bits of color wherever you want them to be so you can just have a little bit of extra fun with it. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. Look. Ooh, gorgeous, even if I do say so myself.